What is up, YouTube? Sheldon over here, and today I'm going to take you with me to the Fees Must Fall mass meeting on South Campus. There was a lot of valuable footage, and because I want to give you as clear a picture as possible as to what happened, this isn't going to be a 5-minute YouTube video, but sit tight because I think what happened was interesting and definitely important. Thank you.
That's why we call this meeting, so that NMMU can sit down and discuss what this NMMU is saying and how are we going to read the call that we are making. There are students who are saying free education for all. There are students who are saying free quality education for the poor. Both the calls make sense. The ones that are saying free education for all are advocating for equality. But one might ask, how do you advocate for equality in an unequal state? The others are saying we are calling for free education for the poor.
Before the meeting continues, what we have noticed in terms of the notice for the meeting was to call parents as well. Not only students, but parents. And my problem is that some of our parents, especially us black kids, are not present. We have a majority of white parents who are here. We request Chairperson that if this meeting is for students of NMMU, and if this meeting is to be fair to all students of NMMU, can we be allowed to only be for students of NMMU?
A certain narrative is taking control because there is majority of people who are here who are not supposed to be here. My mother is not here. She can't come here because she can't afford to be here. She has never been here.
Hi everyone, my name's Keen Hansen. I'm currently a third-year architecture student here at NMMU. I'm coming across as a student amongst all of you, and one thing I do want to put first before I say anything is that we do completely understand what you guys are protesting that my mother can't pay the fees. And if you think about, yes, there are problems that you have with transport or whatever like that in terms of that, of getting parents here. And one of the things that our parents, just like your parents, have to pay the fees. Understand? So they have all the rights to be able to understand.
Now, a lot of people had a lot of different things to say, but because of battery and storage problems, I wasn't able to record everything. I did, however, take notes, and this is what happened chronologically. The church was elected as the neutral party to judge the outcome of the situation. The crowd disagreed. The panel said they believe in hearing everybody's voices, and they just wanted to move forward in understanding people's problems and how to make the right decision in togetherness for the long-term benefit. They asked to have a 2-hour meeting starting at 12:45 and ending at 2:45. Students asked that white parents leave. The white parents didn't leave. The students started protesting. The panel said if an agreement can't be reached, then the meeting would have to be adjourned. A fight nearly broke out, and eventually the white parents left and the meeting was able to be continued. The meeting officially restarted with no white parents there. Students were called up and allowed to speak one at a time. This is what a few of them had to say. Parents and SRC members didn't correctly represent the students. They said their condition was man-made and it can then be undone by man. They are oppressed because they're black, and all other races wish to do it again, referencing apartheid. An international student said this: flight tickets were expensive to reschedule, visas expire, and parents were also not there to represent them. He supported the Fees Must Fall movement, but he said slow and gradual steps were needed. He said peace should be found. One full-time student, who was also a parent of a student, said his son was studying in the medical field for the future. He asked that we pave the way forward in unity. One student said it was management's responsibility to look after the students, to see that they have free food, Wi-Fi, and healthcare facilities. He said it isn't the institution's responsibility, but the government's responsibility. I myself was allowed this opportunity. This is what my heart is on the matter. I was born in 1996, part of the born-free generation, born free from the struggle of apartheid. So I don't know, and I didn't witness any of the traumatic events that happened before that. Also, I'm not from the richest background. In fact, without NSFAS, I wouldn't be able to afford to go to university and get that degree that I have my heart set on, the degree with which I plan on making a big difference in the world. I believe that people have a right to fight for what they believe in and to fight for what they want. Now, we have a perfect example here in South Africa of someone who did just that and demonstrated how to do it remarkably. I'm talking about Nelson Mandela. He sat in jail for 27 years because he had his heart fixed on something which he believed was right. He demonstrated that if you want to bring about change, you're going to have to wait, and you're going to have to stand behind it. Change isn't something that happens overnight. He stood for something which I agree in, unity and love. Now, what's being fought for is free education. That is something that's understandable and perhaps even needed, even if it's just for the people who can't afford it. By all means, it should be fought for. But look at how it was done in the past. If you actually want to bring about a positive change, you're going to have to sit through the struggle. You're going to have to wait it out. He waited in jail for 27 years. The least that we can do is sit through our degrees and get them. Get what you want. Fight for it. It's not easy to get a degree. You really do have to fight for it. I know from what I saw today that with the amount of students who have the passion that they do, it's possible to bring about a change in South Africa. It definitely is. I mean, if that, just half of the students who were there and fighting as they did for what they wanted, if they were just able to sit through university, fight the long fight, and get their degrees, they would have the recognition afterwards. They would have learned, they would be seasoned, and could bring about a valuable change in South Africa. My mom taught me many things. One of them is that I can fight for what I want to, but I'm not entitled to anything in this world. And she was right. I'm only 20 years old, and even now I can see if you fight for something, you can get it, but the world reacts badly to demands. So I leave you with this. What is it that you're fighting for, and how are you going to get it done? Change doesn't happen overnight. Now, I value varsity and I want to get back to varsity. I hate the concept of not being productive. But as we see, if we want to make the change, it's by getting our degree under our belts and fighting the fight and fighting the necessary fight. Fighting for the future of us, our children, and the whole of South Africa. The longer varsity is postponed, the longer the future will have to wait. How much longer are we going to postpone the future?